Hello, Casual Dresser here. I've got a quick video for you. It is a bit of a hype video and it's going to be looking at this, the Famiglia Stone Island Hypebeast book that a lot of people have been trying to get their hands on. If you didn't manage to get hold of a copy, I'm going to show you A, where you can get one copy from, and B, what's inside, so you can make up your mind if you want to buy one. See you on the other side. Okay, I'm not going to make this up as I go along. I have got some notes here, but they are a bit wishy-washy. So I'm going to talk about this book in some detail, what's inside it. The reason why I'm going to do that is because a lot of people didn't manage to get hold of one. So I found out about this book. I woke up one morning and on my Instagram page there were either tags or people putting up that they managed to get one. I had absolutely no idea what it was, where you got it from, how much it cost. So I did a little bit of research and found that they came out, they were released as a special edition magazine by Hypebeast. To be honest with you, I didn't even know who Hypebeast were. So I've got some notes here. And yeah, Hypebeast started in 2012. It's an online sort of forum for looking at fashion and culture content. And every quarter they bring out a magazine. And this was one of their special editions for the 40 years of Stone Island. I couldn't get hold of one, so I put a post up on my Instagram. And a couple of people got back to me and I'm going to tag them here now. Thank you ever so much for sorting me out with the magazine. So I got 2 copies of it. So one copy I'm going to keep myself. The other copy is still in its package and that will be for sale. If you want one, head across to the Instagram page. I'm selling it just for the price I got it for. So I got it from France. It was 20 something pound and I got it delivered. So £40 I'll sell it back on to you. So if you want it, just head across to my Instagram, send me a message and I'll sort you out this magazine. Saying that, you're about to see inside the magazine and you might even want a copy of it once you've seen it. But yeah, so they were just over £20 and it is devoted to Stone Island, so it's why I needed to get my hand on a copy really. So I'm going to take you through from start to finish some of the main parts of this magazine, and you decide if you like it. Okay, so we start off at the front. So the editor is a guy called Jack Stanley, who is a writer, an editor, and a brand consultant. So right at the beginning of the story, and I say story because it shares a lot of elements with the big Stone Island book called Storia. So if you've got the big book Storia, you don't essentially need to get this. This is almost like a cheaper version for people to run through. And it's been presented in its own way. So pages 8 to 11 have a timeline. And you'll see the timeline here. And it just runs from 1982 all the way to 2022, some of the main dates. The one I will pick out is 2001, Stone Island Experiments with Women's Wear. I do think in this day and age that Stone Island could bring a women's wear section out. I know women can wear the same clothes as men, and a lot of women wear the men's clothes very well. I do, however, think that the fit would be slightly better if they tailored it to women. So come on, Stone Island, pull your finger out. There's no reason why in this day and age you cannot make a special women's line. So yeah, that's that bit. Then we move on to pages 12 to 17. We are looking at the family tree and where Stone Island came from. And a lot of these pictures are from the Storia itself. So a lot of the quotes, a lot of the actual text is very similar indeed. The next part's really nice. There is a small section of this in the Storia, but this is the alumni, and these are the designers who have helped Stone Island become what they are today. So you've obviously got Carlo Ravetti, But these are 4 of the main designers. So you've got Paul Harvey. We all know Paul Harvey. So from 1995 until 2007. And one of the things they highlight was the special process pieces. So the white and black badges. It became apparent that these were going to be all the rage when he brought out in 1999 a pure metal jacket, and that's become synonymous with the white and black badge. So that was really the start of the special process pieces, and Paul Harvey was instrumental in that happening. The next person we've got is Joshua Bullen. Now I've got to admit I had no idea who Joshua Bullen was. He is an English designer, and he was brought on board into Stone Island to potentially make Stone Island, in his own words, he says, younger and more youthful. That's a really, really good read when you look at what Joshua Bullen's done. And also, if you're one of these people actually, not about just wearing Stone Island, but actually would like to design, his story is probably quite inspiring. So have a little look at that. That's on page 27. It then goes on to look at Joanna Schneider, who is massively involved as a designer for Acronym and the Shadow Project stuff. So she started in 2009 until present. I mean, I love the Shadow Project stuff. I, like her, think it's some of the best stuff out there. So yeah, you can read about her. And then finally you've got Asim Khan, a Yorkshire lad, who works for Stone Island, still works for Stone Island, started in 2013 until 2019 as a developer, and he's now a consultant for Stone Island. But that's a great read actually, and I really, really enjoyed those parts. Now once we hit page 38, it looks at research in motion. Again, very similar to the story where it actually takes you through the processes involved in designing and making Stone Island products. There are lots of lovely pictures of materials, close-ups of materials. So we've got the prototype stuff, marina stuff, prismatica, reflective, and it shows you really close-ups of those materials. So that's really nice to see. And some more information behind the scenes and some of the pictures. I'm not sure if these were used in the story, but they look very, very similar. Dyeing procedures. I mean, really nice. If you bought the magazine, you could just cut these up and you could frame these pictures because they are absolutely beautiful. And then it goes into, on page 67, it looks at the global family tree. It looks at the past movements of Stone Island, the heritage, the Paninari, the Italian sort of background to it all. I've not read that bit yet, but it just sort of tries to highlight where it came from and how they've sort of reinvented some of those looks to sort of bring it closer to the modern day. And again, there are some beautiful pictures in here, as you can see now. Hopefully these pictures are flashing over the front of me talking, because they look far better than me at the moment. We get to page 82 and they talk about communities. So 3 of the main sort of communities that are bringing Stone Island to the forefront. So we've got the beautiful game, which hones in on the football fans and the terrace culture, which a lot of people know that Stone Island is synonymous for on the terraces in the football matches. Then it goes to music. There's a picture of Liam Gallagher there from 2019, and the way that Stone Island is slowly creeping more and more into modern day music. There's a picture of Drake there and some rappers. I have got absolutely no idea who they are, but I know that they're not Dave, and I quite like Dave and he wears a lot of Stone Island as well. Yep, so we've got the music culture. And then we've got the collecting culture, which a lot of the people who watch my videos are probably quite interested in. You've got Archie Mayer. Now Archie Mayer, this is an interesting story, because I remember Archie Mayer when he was just starting off, and he would buy pieces and he would put them up for sale for this ridiculous prices. He obviously didn't have half the collection he has now, and fair play to him for building such a big collection. I mean, Archie, he rents out his items to pop stars and for people to use in photo shoots, and he's got an extensive collection now, and it mainly looks at the vintage wear of Stone Island, but a great collection, and it's great to see. And then it goes on to look at, and people will know this guy, Robin Schlimbach, who is the founder of Archivo 85, a great shop, someone who I've tapped into quite recently, actually, talking about one of the ideas by Osti Books. I was asking him how many editions there are and if they're any different. And he got back to me straight away and filled me in with that bit of knowledge. So he's got an extensive collection as well, but it's just talking about why these people started collecting it. And obviously now he was a collector, but he buys and sells items as well. Very similar to myself, although he has a shop and it's a much bigger scale. And finally it looks at the descendants. So the descendants is trying to look at how they're going to prolong Stone Island and bring it, you know, through the modern era and, you know, the future of Stone Island, how they sort of preserve what they're doing. So they talk about the 40th anniversary stuff, which was, again, as I say, absolutely shocking. Apart from the smock, the yellow smock, I liked it before, then I was unsure, and I will like it again, so I think I might actually purchase one of those soon. But yeah, it just talks about the prototype research. So they've got prototype 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a song coming on here. And 6. And it's just got Carlo Rovetti looking to the future. I mean, I hope, and you know, going on that point of the future, I hope they sort of don't go too out there with the brand. People like simple designs. Let's not make them cheap. The 40th anniversary range looked cheap and tacky, apart from that one smock. So I think a lot of people would like to see the vintage stuff sort of come back. Like, I've been looking for some marina reflectors for a while now. If that came back, people would just be clambering over it. Whether they decide to not bring past stuff out again, I don't know. But they just need to be really careful, because I know they want the street market now. I know there's a lot of money in it, but some of the stuff is just horrendous. And that's why a lot of people are going to the vintage range at the moment. But that is the Hypebeast magazine in a nutshell. Like I say, I've got one for sale, so just head across to my Instagram and send me a message, and the first person to send me a message, I can send you one out. This will be my copy, because it's a bit more bent. I've been looking through it. Next episode, which is going to be in about a month's time, is going to be a really special one, because I am looking at, I did one about a year ago, I'm looking at independent brands who are trying to make it on the market. I'm going to be wearing their stuff, talking about it, showing those websites. Now I'm going to look at about 10 independent casual brands that are coming through. Now it can be clothing, it can be art, it can be magazines, anything to do with the casual world. If you're trying to break through and you've got something, please send me an email, the email address below, or head across to my Instagram and send me a message, because I want to show it off in that episode. I think loads of people will like to sit down and see what is on the market. I've had about 5 or 6 companies message me already, because I put out a plea on Instagram, and they've sent me some stuff. So I'll just keep wardrobe changing and wearing the next thing, and showing you who, where, when, what, how you get hold of their stuff. So if you would like to be involved in the episode, please get in contact with me. Also, if you are a reseller or some sort of store that specialises in casual wear, and you can show that you've got lots of past sales and you know there's no scammers out there, etc., then I would like to feature you as well. So I'm just going to give a shout out to some of the main stores that are selling some of the casual wear at the moment. So that's going to be the next episode. That will be a really exciting episode. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be brilliant, so you can get an alert. So click the alert button so you know when that video comes. It'll probably about 3 weeks from now. I hope you like this episode. I know, again, I did ramble, but I thought it was important to get this out there. I'm back to work tomorrow, so this is my last day of my holiday. So Stone Island, familiar book, 40 years of family from 1982 to the present day. It's been a pleasure. Take care.